Now let's see where we were. My name is Pat Candaras, and I frame my day. I started at the gym, and I ended with martinis. And I was going to the gym, and I spotted a regular lady, and she was with her dog. Now, he wasn't a regular dog. He was a little fellow. He looked more like a pigeon on a leash. He did what he had to do, and she did what a regular lady on the Upper West Side of Manhattan has to do. They put a plastic sandwich bag over their hand, and they scoop. Now, I was curious because I didn't think a fellow this size could produce anything that was scoopable. But he does what he has to do, and she scoops, and I think, oh, he's going to go home, he's going to be safe from the elements. Just then, she took a tissue from her pocket and she wiped his ass. Now his ears are flying, his eyes are popping, and he's looking around. He goes, "Lady, leave my ass alone." I always knew I was funny, but I was afraid to tell my children or my family, you know, I think I can be a comic. I think that's what I want to do. And so I started writing, and I told my kids I wanted to write, and then I used to sneak out to comedy club. I didn't tell anybody where I was going. And I would go into comedy clubs and sit from 9 o'clock till maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. And they would say, "Oh, we got one more comedian." Because when I first sat at comics tables, which is really dominated by young men, they would look at me like I was a little crazy. I mean, my oldest brother was in jail by the time he was 18. And he was happy. He finally had his own room. When you tell a story, you have to have, I mean, pardon the expression, but you have to have the fucking balls to stick with the story and not to adjust it to accommodate your audience. But so anyway, I went to the priest and I said, "Father, forgive me, I committed adultery." He said, "With whom?" I said, "With myself." He said, "Stop it." But I was a nervous child. I mean, I was a nervous child, and it was an activity that relaxed me. Relaxed me. Because I view childhood as a prison term. You do your time, you obey the rules, and you hope you can escape without getting too fucked up. I mean, all I wanted to do was to develop an act and be in the States. And you know, I have enough money to pay my rent or shit and talk to people. And I'm on a fucking plane going to Edinburgh? You know, how do you don't believe this? Because getting from Brooklyn, New York to the UK, you have to go past a lot of authorities. You have to go past the custom officials. And I'm paralyzed in front of custom officials. I mean, I think they're going to say, "Mrs. Candaras, what are you doing?" And I'm going to say, "I don't know." One of the great things about being at this stage of my life, you take it a fucking day at a time. And then you go home and you go to sleep and you see what happens the next day. I drink a very simple, dry white wine. Some people call it vodka. And I'm off to get a martini. Good night again, and thank you.